Well, guys, we did it. We had a couple set championships this weekend, and after doing absolutely horrible on Saturday night, we hit the drawing board, we overreacted, we made some changes, and we came back to get not just our promo, but we got our playmat as well. Second place finish. Today, the deck went really, really well. In Swiss, my only loss was to Diggy Diggy Hole. Shout out Ben. I beat him up at locals last week, and he got his revenge tour in full swing on me this time around. Game 2, I think, went 4 turns, if that. It was pretty much Cinderella on 1, on 2, sing a song, and played double Daisy. Then came back with sing a song, play Smee Daisy on 3, and well, that's pretty much all she wrote. That game went really quick. Otherwise, we played against Phil. Shout out to his spicy list. That'll be in my meta update a little bit later this week. Shout out Andy. We played like everyone from the group chat this time around in Blue Steel. And who else did we play? We ID'd round 5. Round 1, I technically had the bye, but someone showed up late and he wanted to play, so he was on Purple Steel. Like I said, didn't really matter, but we did beat him, so we kind of played a round 1 game and won. Then top 8, we beat Popsicle in one of the longest game 2s I have ever played in my life. It was absolutely crazy, but we got there in 2. Then top 4, I finally got over on Blake. Shout out Blake. He's knocked me out of top 4 set championships, it feels like, just about every single time we play. So it was nice getting over on Green Steel Discard. He's amazing with that deck. And by the way, guys, I told you Beast was the way. Card's pretty good. Unfortunately, we fell just short to Ruby Fossa in the finals. So shout outs Brandon. Now that we got all that out of the way, like I said, we played Blurple just like I told you guys we were going to play. Got our playmat. Cool. We got our promo. Cool. Now we got all 4, which means we get to play something fun next weekend. It's a smaller one that I bring my son to, and I like when I have my promo ready, because then I get to go play a fun deck. Let me know what deck down below you guys would like me to play. No guarantees, because, well, I have to have the cards to play it, and it can't be cards that I put in his deck already. He's going to be playing a Amethyst Emerald Evasive Aggro. Deck video is up on the channel. Catch me if you can, by the way. Without further ado, we can go ahead. Right now, I'd say early leader is probably playing Jafar Wheel is most likely what I'm going to be playing, just as a fun deck. In our 1-drop spot, I went with 8 1-drops only, the Chernobyls and the Brooms. Initially, yesterday, I played 2 Rafiki as well. I think Rafiki's really good. You could also play the Diablos for the additional draw cards. I felt like the deck has enough draw and enough consistency already. The Rafikis were really nice just for getting really good trade value into Foxes, into Calhouns, into all kinds of stuff, because 3 strength is pretty good. Who knew that? But overall, I felt that today was going to be a bit slower of a meta, and I was wrong. There was aggro everywhere today, but we managed to get through, so it worked out okay. 2 drops, we played the Snakes and the T-Post. Going through all the characters first, by the way. Snakes, T-Post, pretty standard there. I think so far these 16 cards are all pretty well accepted as the standard for Blurple. I wouldn't really deviate at all. The amount of times I opened 3 snakes in my hand after mulliganing was absolutely insane. Thank goodness the card is inkable, because, well, it ended up as ink a lot, and that really sucks when you get into grindy games and you know that all your snakes are gone. T-Po also just really good. Get a lot of good trade value off of your T-Pos and your Brooms too, especially T-Po, because, you know, your Broom you would ideally draw a card, but off your T-Po when you go ahead and drop a crab down. 3, we played the Foxes and the Crabs. 4 Crabs, I've seen some lists running 3. I think 4 is absolutely mandatory. This card is insane, and you just ink it if you have it. A few times I saw too many and didn't need them, but overall, there's so many situations where you really just want a crab, so I can't really say enough how much you want this card. So I'd absolutely leave it at 4. I don't think I'd play anything less. Fox obviously is just Fox. Card's too good to not play. 4 Genies. I know, crazy. This list looks like every other list so far. Oh my goodness, 2 rabbits. It's different. It's a little different. Pretty much everyone else was on 3 rabbits. I almost went to 3 rabbits, and truth be told, I was a little tilted after Saturday, and it was really out of my control. I lost to B Prep off the top a few times. The first game, was actually like a good game. He navigated it really well. But my second match versus the Ruby Amethyst on Saturday, it was 2-game format, by the way, which I didn't know about until like we sat down and were already paired up. And we also played down a round. Like we had 18 players and only did 4 rounds. Still, it was weird. But the second Ruby Amethyst player, it was, I hate using the term that it was just this really sacky win, but oh my goodness, how many times can you pull B prep off the top of your deck? I got hit by 11 B preps, by the way, in 4 games, so that's pretty cool. Deck actually did really well considering getting B prep 4 times twice and still almost winning both those games. The Rabbits, though, I thought about putting more in, but just being with uninkable count on Saturday also, I was playing How Far I'll Go, which I talked about in my Metafy thing for set championships. I still really, really like the card. I think the consistency is amazing. It's a song. It's amazing. Knowing what you put in your inkwell is amazing. Digging for the Genie and the Elsas is just insanely strong. I was just getting into some of those scenarios where I got tired of getting B prep 3 and 4 times a game, so I'm like, I got to speed this deck up a little bit. So How Far I'll Go is obviously one of the cards to come out. So, which also brought my uninkable count down a little bit, which was nice. I was even like, I'm like, how crazy do I go? Do I take Genies out? I'm like, Ed took it out, made a meta call. I'm like, can I make a meta call and take this out of here? And I sat down, I was trying to think about who was going to be playing on Sunday, what decks they were going to be playing, overthinking it all. I'm like, nope, I'm overreacting. It was kind of out of my control. Did as good as I could have given the scenarios, and I'm just going to try not to overreact. So I only made a 5-card swap. I pulled the 2 Rafikis out and the 3 How Far I'll Goes, and those were the only 5 cards I pulled out of the deck from Saturday to Sunday. 4 Elsas. The card was just absolutely insane. 3 Bells, mandatory. Don't play less than 3. This card is so crazy. Bell is so good. Put 2 Donalds in. When we pulled the How Far I'll Go out, I put the Donalds in. I think both cards are still insanely strong and really good. And when it comes down to it, I said that they're both the right answer to the same question, but you can't have both answers. Donald's a little bit quicker, helps the deck finish out and close up faster. That's why I ended up going to him. Looking back, I'm going to keep him in over the How Far I'll Goes because I didn't miss the consistency at all today. But I think my other card I played that we'll get to at the end is actually a big reason for that too. So overall, I think I'd keep the Donalds in moving forward instead. Just because, again, I didn't miss the consistency from How Far I'll Go because of the other concession we made to the deck. 2 Hades and 3 Elsas. This is kind of the finishing power, the closers of the game. Versus Popsicle game 2, that insanely long one. I think I Elsa'd him 4 times because obviously the bounce package. But I used all 3 copies of Elsa. Used the Hades. It was crazy how long that match went, or that game, I should say. How crazy that game went. Game 1 was actually pretty quick because we hit him with the Spice on turn 3, and there's just no coming back from it. 4 Sail the Azurite Seas. Almost took this card out too. Like, I was seriously running through my head. I'm like, Saturday. This card felt so bad on Saturday. It did not help. I got it in the worst scenarios. I was having it when I had a bunch of uninkables in hand. I was getting it late game and just using it for the draw. But at the end of the day, that turn 2 ramp is just far too important. Like, you can't cut this card. I'm like, maybe I put 1 jump aheads back in too, because then you save your hand resources. But I'm like, now it's another card off the top of your deck that you don't know is gone, which I'm not a huge fan of. It is a song, but it was also at the uninkable count, so we ended up not doing that. 3 friends on the other side and 1 Let It Go for our song count. Wouldn't really change any of that. It's kind of just like a sacky, inkable, lower cost Hades without the body. I mean, that's not kind of what it is. That is exactly what it is. And that gets us to 57 cards. The card that I played that was kind of like the spice, the sauce, the goo, the grate. And quite frankly, this card won me. At least 4 games were won largely in part because of this card today. And I've said it before, and I will say it again. I have never finished a game or match or day and said, man, Library really won me those games today. But you know what I have said over and over and over again? Man, Queen's Castle won me some games today. This card was crazy. Sorry, Andy, for drawing 5 cards for turn in our match. In addition to that, being able to go like 1 drop, ramp on 2, slap castle down versus popsicle in top 8. He couldn't answer it until, actually he never even answered it in that first game because he didn't have like a big Maui, and he did end up getting to a half shark, but I had let it go and got rid of it. He got to another half shark, I had Hades. He got out double Medusa and dealt with my board, and then I slapped Elsa down and locked up his Medusas, and Queen's Castle probably got me 12 lore on its own in that game. Like, it was just crazy. When you get this card down on 3 and they can't answer it, and you start getting characters there turn 4, like the advantage, the consistency, but most importantly, the 2 lore. So, I mean, I guess you could argue McDuck Manor would be better because it has the 2 extra willpower, and I'm not going to disagree with you, but I actually drew quite a few cards off of this, and it just, there was quite a few times too, like where my opponent dealt with the characters that are here, right? Like they stop it, so you don't get the additional draws, and that's fine because now they're using all their resources to clear out the characters that are in the castle, but then the castle stays, my other characters are there, I'm developing my board while they're trying to focus on getting rid of this, and my board is slowing their board down and dealing with it, and this card just overperformed today. I would not take it out. I put it in, again, to kind of speed up the deck a little bit, because hitting it on 3 versus those other decks. Plus, it's like, okay, if we can get into a spot where my board's arguably better than yours and I'm dealing with you that way and I have a castle down, go ahead and B-prep me. You have to because of my board state. And now what? Like, you're going to B-prep me with a castle on board? Good luck. Like, okay, that's fine. So looking back, I don't think I'd change a single thing from this deck. If I went to play Blurple next weekend, I'd play the exact same list. It was really, really nice. I felt it went really well. I think the deck actually can go into aggro decks better than people give it credit. Not saying like if they just hit the sauce, obviously they're gone. Evident by my game 2 against Diggy Hole today. But realistically, if that deck hits that, they're doing it against anybody. Other things, I guess, check out the links down below, friends of the channel, stuff like that. You can see it on the screen, quick link, all that good stuff. But thank you guys for watching. Until next time, take care. Again, let me know down below what deck you think I should play. Probably leaning towards like either Mickey Brooms or Jafar at the moment. I want to play a funner deck, or I'll play a fun for me deck and play like Emerald Sapphire discard. Apparently that's a pretty good deck now, I heard, or something like that. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys think about the deck. How did your set championships go? Yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling now. So I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Again, let me know down below what your plans are for your set championships. What should I play next time? And all that good stuff that I already asked you to do 3 times. So